Righto, folks, welcome back to the Williams Real Estate channel. Today we are discussing real estate seasons. This one's been on my board for a little while, and I thought good time to roll it out. Best time to sell, best time to buy. We'll talk all things real estate seasons today. So stay tuned, and it won't be what you think. It's not what the mainstream herd think is a good time to buy, sell, do whatever. So we'll start with the best time to buy real estate. In my humble opinion, buying hundreds of deals personally and for clients, it all goes through peaks and troughs. There's sometimes lots of stock comes on, sometimes there's not much stock, sometimes there's lots of buyers, sometimes there's a drop off in buyers. It all goes through peaks and troughs and seasons, as I like to call it. So the best season to buy in is by far summer, December, January, February. There is a drop off in buyer demand. People are checked out for the year come December. They're not looking to commit to such a large asset or large commitment of buying a property. Obviously, it is somewhat of an emotional toll where you're going through the whole process of buying. People are checked out for the year, thinking about holidays. They're not looking to make such a big commitment. So generally speaking, there's a drop-off in buyer activity coming into December. And also there's a flood of stock that comes on in spring, which we'll get to spring in a bit. But there's a lag and a leftover stock out of spring come December, at which point sellers get desperate to sell. If they listed the property to sell in October, November, and haven't got any offers or anything solid, come December, if they're not selling December, they're not going to sell till Jan, Feb, March. So I find coming into December, the sellers that have had their property on the market already are discounting to sell if they need to sell before Christmas, because if they can't sell before Christmas, if they haven't sold it in October, November, then they're not going to sell for a good few months. So discounts are made coming into December. Good time to get in, lowball. There's not many buyers as they're checked out. They're thinking of holidays, and so there's less competition, which is good. And January, same story. People on holidays. They're either going on camping trips, Australia-wide trips, or overseas during the Christmas holidays. Best time to buy is between December and Jan, that 2 or 3 weeks between after Christmas to New Year's Eve, where you don't know what day it is. That's the best time to buy. If you can find an agent that's working, I mean, real estate agents, they don't tend to clock off. They're always on the go. So if you can line up your conveyancer, your solicitor, your mortgage broker, your pest and building contractors, your strata inspectors, your whole team, if you can have them on the go, ready to go, that's when you get the best deals, because obviously everyone's checked out during that 2, 3 week shutdown. So that's when the best deals are made, is during that period. There's literally very minimal buyers and people are shut up shop. So if you can make it work, which I make it work every December, Jan, I'm always looking to buy something. Best time to buy is the best deals are there. Sellers are discounting because there's literally a drop off in buyer activity. Come Feb, starts to pick up again. People are back at work. The holidays are coming to a close. And typically after Australia Day, that's when it starts to really ramp up again in terms of buyer activity. So then stock levels are reduced as the stock is absorbed in February, and then March again is still a good time to buy, but the stock levels start to reduce, so it becomes more competitive. Coming into April, May is when I believe is the best time if you were to sell, is to list in come April, May, June. That's the best time if you were looking to sell, is to launch in May, sell in June. Couple of reasons. Firstly, there's a drop off in supply coming into winter. So June, July, August, most people think it's a bad time to sell in June, July, August, as it's rainy, cold weather, the property may not look the best. So because the masses think that way and not sell their asset in winter, there's supply and demand. Less stock available and buyers are still there. So there's pent-up demand typically throughout winter. And I mean, we've recently gone through winter and it's been the lowest stock levels for a number of years in the regions we've been buying. Talking to the agents, they're usually saying they've got between 50 to 100 listings on the go at every one time. Throughout the last winter, they've only had 5 to 10. So there's been a massive drop off in the recent winter. So it's been quite actually challenging to get good deals because there's not many properties going around. Hence, the best prices are typically set during winter where there's less supply, high demand that pushes prices up. So if you are looking to capitalize on that, and that's whenever I would sell is I list or look to list in May and sell in June, because also people hold back until the next financial year to sell a property as well if they want to push the capital gain. If it's an investment property into the next financial year, they'll need to sell it in July, being the date of the contract in July. So a lot of people hold off and then dump in July, August if it's an investment, or if it's more a homeowner occupier type of property, they typically hold out until spring. So best time to sell is May, June, if you can bring the capital gain into the current financial year, as there won't be much stock because people will be holding out, plus people are holding out to sell in spring when there's better lighting and when they think it's a better time to sell. So very challenging time during the middle of the year to get good deals because there's really not much stock. As we come out of winter and into spring, so September, October, stock starts to come onto the market. So a lot of people think it's a good time to sell in spring as the flowers start to come out, the weather's starting to warm up, the wind and rain goes away, nice sunshine, lighting of the property presents better, typically in spring, with daylight saving also now coming in, longer days, better for open homes. However, because a lot of people think that way and do that, they flood the market in September, October, November. Spring selling season, they call it. Everyone looks to sell in spring, but because everyone wishes and thinks it's a good idea to do that, supply and demand. They flood the market with listings. You got multiple options. I mean, you probably even can feel it around your local area. If you've been looking at real estate, there's more options coming on now, coming into spring. It's a good time to start buying, getting good deals. You get good deals in spring. Come October, November, this is the best time. Best time to buy is when there's lots of stock coming on. People are checked out for the year because the holidays are on the horizon. It's a big push. If you haven't got your ducks in a row already, probably more than likely not going to be able to get your ducks in a row to get everything lined up to buy, being your pre-approval, your conveyancer on board, you've given everyone in your team a heads up. You've engaged a buyer's agent if required to help you buy your property. If you haven't got everything lined up ready to go now, then you're probably not buying till the next year. Hence, there's more stock coming on, less buyer activity coming into December, best deals. These are the best. I love buying property between now and January, best time of the year by far. There's lots of stock coming on, drop off in motivation from buyers. They may have been trying their hardest to get a deal through winter and fallen short. They say, oh, let's just put it on the back burner until next year. We'll get back to it in the new year. I'm hearing a lot of that, even from prospective clients pushing it into the new year. It's typical behavior we see is there's fatigue come towards the end of the year. People aren't looking to make such a big commitment, and you need to push it. You need to push everyone. You need to push your mortgage broker hard. You need to push your conveyancer solicitor. You need to push everyone hard to make everyone work for it to get the good deal. And people just tend to check out towards the end of the year. So that's great. It provides opportunity for people who are ready to go and ready to take advantage is the best time now in spring and coming into again into summer when everyone's checked out and on holidays and no one's looking to buy a property. That's even better. So that is the seasons, when to buy, when to sell. Best time to buy spring and summer. Best time to sell end of autumn and in winter. But there's always deals around. They come and go all the time. Good deals don't last long. So there's always a deal out there, but in terms of looking at it from a season perspective, it's counterintuitive to what you think is probably the best time to sell and buy. And that's how I see it. If you want help coming into summer now, this is the best time to buy. This is where the best deals will be had. There's lots of stock coming on now, and there's a drop off in buyer activity. Best time to get a good deal coming into summer. So if you need help from a buyer's agent perspective, if you need help with your full team around you that will be switched on during this time, shoot us an email, get in touch today, jump on a strategy session with us, get ready to rock and roll, and we'll be sure to be sending you deals throughout the summer break. Until next time, thanks for watching.